Hey everyone, it's Matt from Zenshop again, and today I wanted to give an update on how I'm doing for the database performance of the new release of Zenshop. So just forewarning you, this is a fairly geeky topic, probably more geeky actually than the geekiest of videos that I've previously done, but it's really interesting and it is a big step forward for me in getting the release ready. This is also a shout out to Tom again because his advice was really useful in resolving and diagnosing this problem that I was experiencing. Um, and yeah, so thank you, Tom. What I'm showing you on the screen right now is my Planetscale database, which is where Zenshop stores all of the data. And what I was trying to do was test the Sidekick processes that process all of the Shopify data for the store. And Shopify data is quite rich, has a lot of information about orders and tracking numbers and shipping addresses and all the stuff that you could imagine that might be related to an order. We need that information because the whole point of Zenshop is going to be a very rich experience for both the users who are supporting customers on the shop, so that they can immediately know that who the customer is when they're talking to them and see the order information that they're having problems with. So Zenshop was, I was doing this test, grabbing all the data, and then I was looking at the graphs of Planetscale and seeing how what kind of impact it was doing to the database. And then I was really shocked. I've got a screenshot of it somewhere. I'll probably attach it to the video description. But basically, I reached over 100 billion rows read in that period of importing, I don't know, probably actually, I think it was several thousand orders, probably a bit more than I needed to test, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, 100 billion read requests though for that, sample size of orders was exponentially more than I expected. So the reason why this was happening was because I needed to index fields or columns in the database that I hadn't indexed. So if you're unfamiliar with indexing, and I was at the time because obviously I'd heard about indexing, but I didn't really know the dramatic changes it does to query performance. What you do is if you're frequently searching your database with certain fields, you kind of need to index them. And because if you don't, you'll end up with basically ON performance, which is really really slow and bad performance. You're basically traversing your entire database to get that search result. But when you index these these fields, you get O0 or something, O1 performance. So, please correct me as well, because I'm not a database nerd, but I can kind of roughly understand the solution here. In fact, what I can show you here is the Planetscale insights, which give me a kind of really powerful and useful tool for diagnosing issues in Zenshop's database performance. And what you can see in this table is information about the query itself and the types of speed it had, the number of times it was run, but also the number of rows read. So number of rows read was the red flag that I was getting. It was just 100 billion rows read. It was a huge number, and I was trying to figure out why. And then I could see that these types of queries, and there was actually other queries too, but can't show you that right now. And immediately we kind of figured out that it was the indexing issue. So what I did is I created this deploy request, which again is really cool about Planetscale. I really like it. And you can see a diff of all the changes that I'd made to the database during this time, and then you deploy that change to the database, and that you can actually see here. I made 2 deploy requests, in fact, and what happened then was I wanted to run that same process of importing data from Shopify and seeing if my indexing had resulted in a better performance profile for the database. And obviously that big blue bar there is when I ran that test prior to indexing, and you can see the number of rows read was very high. And then, down here we've got like very small blue bars, but like you can't even see them because they're kind of offered, they're on a different scale at this point. They're very, very minor. So what that means is now I believe I've got a scalable solution for importing, big quantities of data for the store. And that was a really useful test, and also good milestone for me to reach, because I was actually quite skeptical and unsure that I was going to be able to do this. Like importing all this Shopify data has been a problem in prior releases of zenshop. The database dies, like it really slows down. And I can now see why, very clearly what the issues are, and I'm fixing it in this new release. So we're going to have a really great, I'm hoping a really great Shopify integration, and scalable. I'm also lucky actually to talk to the people at Planetscale next week, and they're going to hopefully help me build a really even better solution. I might find other issues that I haven't found yet, but they're there. But hopefully we'll fix those too, and get like a really, really super fast performance for the database. And I'm also even talking to the guys at MediaSearch, because part of the pro plan will be to have all this data searchable as well within zenshop, so you'll be able to find your customer, find your order, match them together with the conversation super quick. But MediaSearch, like I mentioned in the previous video, there's a lot of extra computation that happens when you do the search indexing. So yeah, that's the update today. Thanks for watching, and I'm really looking forward to making the next video on the things that we're doing at zenshop. Bye.